well, you had mentioned self-care, and I think, again, I work with all women, and so that's really the thing that I find is the most relevant theme a lot of times is in sacrificing and being committed to a cause and to something important like a nonprofit or a school or a hospital, and then and then at what expense? At the expense of your social life, at the expense of your personal life, at the expense of, the salsa class that you want to take or the yoga class or whatever it is. So.
I should have had you with me 15 years ago. Like, I was that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the person who I took care of everybody in my life but me.
Mm-hmm.
I would work for these organizations where I managed 10, 20 plus people. I had 2 small children that I was primary caregiver for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person in my family that if something goes wrong, that everybody calls.
Mm-hmm.
Even at church, I came into this church just wanting healing and, spiritual time. And I swear to God, I looked up and weeks later I was sitting on the board.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
And I was just like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And I remember when I was leaving, I remember just being burnt and saying to the pastor, I just wanted to be a congregant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to. So it is amazing when you step back and don't run everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up one day and I realized there's not one aspect of my life where I'm not in charge.
Mm.
From the moment I open my eyes to the second I go to sleep. And I sacrificed the salsa classes and I sacrificed the belly dancing and the going and the doing because of taking care of everybody else.
Yeah.
And you know what it got me? It got me tired and stressed out, and it got me sick with a thyroid sickness, which is, autoimmune, which is stress, which kills us. And I remember being so sick and just thinking, how did this happen?
Yeah.
How did this become my life? And then I wasn't very smart. I got well and did it all over again. I'm learning my lessons now. So I started painting a vision for my life. And in that vision, I knew the community I wanted to live in, and I knew what I wanted to do. And so this summer, I shipped my youngest daughter off to college. I, in the meantime, sold or gave away 90% of my stuff.
Wow.
I moved to the town and the community I wanted to live in. Right now, I'm sitting in my beautiful living room where I work, and I'm looking outside, and it's snowing. I'm up in the mountains. There's green all around me. It's beautiful. And this is exactly what I wanted for myself.
Wow.
And every day, I just kept that vision in my mind. This is what I want. This is how I want to live my life. I want to live in a community where I get access to really good food. That's what I have here. I want to take care of myself. I started dance class. All these things that I never gave myself permission to have. Or, because it was always about making sure everybody else was taken care of. And so there is nothing wrong with being, I used to think selfish was a horrible word on earth. And as I look back now, I'm like, you should have been way more selfish than you were.
Yeah.
That's my biggest regret.
Well, part of what is so inspiring, I think, your message is more meaningful because you've been there. And I certainly don't want to give the impression that I'm this self-care guru. I'm struggling along with people and know how hard it is. And so I feel like what you've described is really meaningful because it's not as if you're coming from easy street and saying, oh, all you have to do is take care of yourself and it's so easy. It's
so hard.
Yeah.
When my kids were smaller, I couldn't get to the gym. And then when they were older, I didn't even know how to get to the gym. Taking care of me is critical.
Yes.
And it's a priority. And I wish that I would have done it. And I tell all my friends who have little kids, don't do as I do. Do not do as I do. Make that time while they're little. Take it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it yours. Take it and own it because you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve it. You have to. You have to renew, and you have to fill yourself.
Yeah.
Being depleted, so scary.
Mm-hmm.
So scary. So yeah, it's the best thing ever. So yeah, it's a journey we all kind of go through, right?
Yeah, yeah. And again, I trust people more who are willing to admit and be authentic about that we're all on this journey, and that showing that vulnerability and saying, you know, I know what it is to commit my life to the community, which is noble, you know, and important. And I know that we can't even count what a contribution you've made over the past 25 years, as you discussed, but at the same time, learning along the way, you know, to be able to continue, like you said, the marathon, to be able to continue the work.
And it is noble work, but it's not noble work when it sacrifices your spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes martyrdom, and nobody wants that.
Yes.
What not taking care of yourself does for you, it mutes that voice in you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It mutes, you stop believing in that voice in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more I take care of me, the louder that voice gets, and the more I hear it, and the more I trust and believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't let me down.